Hello everyone, welcome to StraightA. Dawson here, back in our video here today, and today we are continuing our grades for each of the NFL divisions based on positional value. Well, positional value, more like positions. But either way, today is the NFC East. Really exciting stuff from both ends of the spectrum of really good and really bad. Where will your team's position groups end up lining up? Find out today. Before we get started though, please like down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and comment any suggestions for future videos below. Without further ado, to get right into the video. And so again, if you're not familiar, I'm taking all 10 of my position groups: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, O-line, D-line, linebacker, secondary, coach, and special teams, and I'm grading all of them on a grading scale as shown on screen. A being best in the league. That means they're the best in the league at that position basically. B plus, excellent. They're one of the best but not quite. Pretty good at B minus, so they're above average. They're doing all right. C, they're about average. They're about what you could expect from that position group. D plus, neither they have potential, but not really. D minus, not too hot. They're not quite that bad, but they're pretty damn close, and pretty piss poor at an F, being basically the worst in the league. So really exciting stuff here. And NFC East has a lot of different cats to open up. A lot of bags to open up to see where it goes. Either way, again, NFC East: Giants, the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. Starting off, of course, in alphabetical order, the Dallas Cowboys. I really debated about Dak Prescott. I did. I sat here and I was like, is he worth a B plus? B plus or B minus. And you know what? I think he's more of a B plus player nowadays. He's reliable. He gets a lot of stats up, and he's just been really, really good. I think he's kind of in that Aaron Rodgers type area where he's rising up while Aaron Rodgers is kind of going down. But they all kind of meet at B plus because they're both not in the A tier, but they're also not like just barely above average. So we'll keep him the B plus and be just fine. Thank you, Dak, for showing up to class. Then the running back, they got Zeke currently, and that is kind of unfortunate. Kind of pulling up all. I forgot to pull up all the roster here to help me remember the names. But Zeke and Rico Dowdle, and Royce Freeman, I'm giving them a D minus to be very, 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 very optimistic about Zeke this next year. This honestly is an F running back room, but I'm optimistic about Zeke. All right, I like Zeke enough. I want to give him another shot. So you get a D minus. You stay in the class for a little bit longer, but man, I'm not optimistic. Not really optimistic. Either way, wide receiver room. This is really weird because I like CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, he's number one receiver. And actually, this shows that he's out. I just saw this update. What the heck? All right. How bad is his? Oh, okay, we're good. It's just about his contract stuff. Okay, cool. I was like, wait, where the hell is all this stuff done? Okay, cool. Either way, CeeDee Lamb, still one of the best receivers in the league. Brandon Cooks, I think, is a reliable number 2, but more is like closer near the bottom of the wide receiver 2 category. And then you got Jalen Tolbert. I mean, this is about quintessential as you can get. B minus, mostly because they have one of the best receivers in the league. That's about it. I debated on a C, but that's, I don't know. B minus is basically carried by CeeDee Lamb. And Brandon Cooks, I like him. Jake Ferguson, I know a lot of people like him. I like him enough. He's just a reliable tight end. He's easy to get to see. O-line, I mean, when you got guys like Guyton and Martin on this team, and fucking even Terrence Steele's not bad. It's one of the best O-lines, not quite the best, but I'll give him a B plus for now. The D-line, though, I mean, when you look at the Cowboys defense, they are fucking monsters. When you got DeMarcus Lawrence holding up one side and Micah Parsons on the other, it's just going to be too insane. And even the two guys in the middle, Mozzie Smith and Oza, whatever his last name is, they both are so reliable enough. This defensive line still gets an A. Come on, let's be honest here. Linebackers, though, they're around the C mark. I mean, I'm not going to really say they're really good. I'm not going to say really bad. And they really have been boosted up by the coaching staff and the coaching scheme around linebackers. So they get a C. They're reliable enough. The secondary, I think there's a lot of good guys here. I think Malik Hooker and Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland, of course. I think all these guys could really make a really good secondary. Debated on B+, but I'm not quite confident in their consistency, so that's why they're kind of getting the B- category more so than anything. Then, of course, we have the special teams. I mean, I love, Brandon Aubrey, of course, as kicker. Brian Anger as their punter. Not too bad. The special teams in general. Cowboys are going to operate on full cylinders across the board. And then the coach, Mike McCarthy. I'm putting him at B- for similar reasons I have done like Sean McDermott and Mike McDaniel. He's kind of reached a plateau point where he showed that he can get you to the playoffs, but can he finish the job? He has not really shown that. He has decent records otherwise. And is he really the best? I'm not too sure. He's kind of getting to that B- plateau, in my opinion, of the coaching. So we'll see what happens, but Mike McCarthy, you're reliable enough through your history, but man, you got to finish the job at some point. New York Giants, man, if you want to see a shit report card like your mother's, here we are. I'm giving Daniel Jones a D-. Again, this kind of goes to the Ezekiel Elliott thing where I'm going to remain optimistic because I've seen Daniel Jones do well enough around the C category. And so I would normally put him at a D+ or an F. So I decided to meet in the middle and be like, D- is what Daniel Jones is going to get. Move on. Very similar thing with Devin Singletary. I just don't think he's not a number one guy. He's the only guy on this fucking team. Eric Gay, you might be able to say, is kind of in that room. Otherwise, I mean, come on. I'm giving it a D- because I'm optimistic. That's about it. The wide receiver room saved by Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers is a solid C, if not B-. But then you got Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton, who kind of bring that down just a little bit. I'm giving it a D+ because I just don't think this wide receiver room is that great. Daniel Bellinger, fucking F. Get out of here. Get out of my class. O-line, fucking awful. Andrew Thomas almost kind of saved it, but again, he's older. He can't really rely on him. Everybody else sucks on that fucking O-line, so F. The D-line, though, I got to give them some credit. Their defense, they got some people on here. Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, I mean, alone can get you almost to an A. The Rakeem Nuez and Elijah Chapman, who kind of swap back in between that, that role, it's not reliable enough for me to go any higher than the B+. But B+ because Brian Burns is awesome and great value, and Dexter Lawrence is also amazing. So both those guys are kind of arguably in the A-B+ tier. So I'll give them a B+ to kind of err on the side of optimism. I'm really optimistic today, I guess. Linebackers, I mean, when I look at the stats and look back at how these guys actually perform, I mean, the linebackers for the Giants have always done pretty damn well. I'm going to give them a B+. You got Okirike, you got McFadden, you got Thibodeau. I'll give them a B+. I debated on a B- because I think I debated defensive line being a little bit better, but they're around the same. It's just they have two guys carrying defensive line of the three, and linebackers have like three very, very solid guys, and I just don't know much about McFadden as much as a Zurari and a Kirike and a Thibodeau. I know those three a lot. So B+ is what I'm getting linebackers. Then moving on to the secondary, awful. I fucking hate it. There's no guy I recognize. All their stats kind of suck, so move on. Special teams, kind of the same thing. They don't get results, whatever. Graham Gono's, whatever. Gillen's, whatever. F. Coach. I forgot even what the fucking coach name's. Brian Daboll. I just like fucking blanked him for a second. Of course, 2 years ago, he started as a coach. Probably would have got a C back then. He had a really great year that first year. So honestly, B- because he got coach of the year. So B- edging on B+. This last year he sucked. So I'm gonna go back to my original thing of, okay, we have now a sample size of doing really awesome with the team and making really good use of them, and just being overall good. And last year, which was kind of a train wreck here anyway for the Giants, I'm gonna give him one more year, and then you get back down to a C. And it's like, okay, you're gonna be passing, you're gonna be failing. I'm not too sure. Giving you a C, Brian Daboll. Stay on toes. Eagles, man. Going through this was also kind of fun because I did not realize how stacked the Eagles kind of were. I'm giving Jalen Hurts a B-. Say what you will. Kenny Pickett also helps kind of solidify a B- tier for me because I think that's a very good quarterback room. Jalen Hurts is just not that guy to be explosive and really great. I can't put him in the tier of Dak Prescott and Aaron Rodgers, but I can reliably put him in with Jared Goff in that kind of tier. So I'm going to put Jalen Hurts in B-. But he's got potential. He's got to show more. He's got to show some results, and then maybe he can kind of go in that B+ category. But he doesn't really carry this team as much as the team carries him. Very similar to Brock Purdy. And I know I've just got a comment today about me hating the 49ers. Don't hate them. Just don't think they're that great. The running back, Saquon Barkley, I mean, if you don't give him an A, then what are you doing? Kenneth Gainwell is reliable enough. I just wish I had somebody more explosive in terms of like more elusive. But still, I can't deny an A for the running back room. This is one of the best wide receiver rooms. I cannot deny that. Jahan Dotson, very great wide receiver 3. And, of course, you have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, who are definitely both wide receiver 1 capable guys. You get an A. Tight end, Dallas Goedert, reliable enough. I'll give him slightly above average, B-, pretty good. The O-line, I really debate about putting him at a B+ because I'm like, man, they lost Jason Kelsey. But when it comes down to the facts of it, they still have everybody else. And outside of center, there's no question marks at all. So I'm giving him an A. The center's a question mark, but even Cam Jurgens has shown that he can be fine. And they have good depth there. So I cannot really deny the O-line getting an A. I really can't. D-line, same case. I mean, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter just have a ton of results, and Milton Williams shows a lot of potential with helping with this team on the end. I can't deny it. They get an A too. They're one of the best performers. The linebackers are all kind of very like mid. I can't really. Bryce Huff is like kind of B- tier for me. Josh Sweat and Devin White are kind of reaching that there to me too. And you got Zach Bond, who I think is more of a D+, D- guy. So they land about a C. I don't really feel very passionately one way or the other for the linebackers for now. The secondary, I just don't think that there's Darius Slay Jr. is the only person that helps me make the result go up. C.J. Gardner-Johnson has potential too. The other two guys just not very great. So I kind of landed at a D+. I can kind of go different ways with this. It just depends on how you kind of outlook and how much weight you give Darius Slay and how much weight you even give CJ Gardner-Johnson. But I'm going to land at a D+ for their grade for now. Special teams, nothing moves me. Drake Elliott's really awesome, so I almost put a B-, but otherwise they just don't get results in the punting and kick returning. C. B+ for Nick Sirianni. Kind of like Brian Daboll, I really debated on where he lands on this whole coaching category. Though he gets results, he does very well, and honestly, it has shown that he can make the Super Bowl, and honestly, probably almost win the Super Bowl. Now, granted, he did blow it. I don't know if it's as much him blowing it as much of anything else, but either way, I think he's still got potential. He's been in the league for a while now, and so he's got the veteran instincts behind him. But like, he's just kind of still inches away from being really great, but also another season or two away of mediocrity to being lower than this. So I'm gonna give him a B+ for now. Then we got the Washington Commanders, and starting off, Jaden Daniels, he's a quarterback, or rookie quarterback. He gets a C. There's no one way or the other I feel about Jaden Daniels, so I'm not really going to give him a B- or a D+. He gets a C. Running back Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler, both washed up, so they go through a washed up D+. Get this D, eat this D, boom. They could prove me wrong, but I just don't think either one of them are going to be amazing. They'll be together, they'll be fine. They get D+. Wide receiver room, and I really hate doing this. I really hate this. Gotta like Scary Terry. But in all reality, I think he's really good. I do. I believe in my heart that Scary Terry's good. I know he's good because he keeps on getting 1,000-yard receiving years with this crappiest of fucking quarterbacks. But he's supported by nobody in this fucking wide receiver room. Jamison Crowder, kind of. Like, I just don't. And Luke McCaffrey's a fucking rookie who's not that highly touted and is probably drafted mostly for his last name, from what it looks like. I wish the best for this wide receiver room because I want Jaden Daniels to do well. I just cannot put a whole lot of confidence in anybody outside of Scary Terry. I cannot. And that's where they landed a D-. There's just nobody out after Scary Terry. And I debated on D+ because of the potential of Luke McCaffrey, but he's not highly touted. He hasn't shown, in the preseason that, anything great. Give him a D-, move on, and pray that something gets made out of nothing. Tight end Zach Ertz, he gets a D- purely because he's a veteran, and I again have optimism that he'll do reliably enough. That's it though. O-line, fucking shit. Bazaz at center is the only guy I have any confidence in. Everybody else is just very, very, very not great, but they're also not the worst O-line in the league. So I'm gonna give him a D-. The D-line. Just nothing. Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne help lift this up a lot, but the other two guys suck from their stats and from their history. So, like, you get a C. And Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen are, like, good B+, B- area, and everybody else is, like, an F. So I'm just landing at a C because half of you are really good, half of you are really bad. Linebackers, I don't really feel very strongly. They're older, but, like, can they get the job done? They could. I just don't have much confidence in them doing so. So D+, sure. Sounds like a good grade for them. Secondary, again, looking at all these names, looking at the results, Jeremy Chinn's the only one who makes me feel anything, and it's almost like a longing for someone better as a feeling. So F. The special teams, D-. I don't really care about this one, I guess. Cade York, and it seems like they get decent conversion numbers, and decent yardage, but otherwise, I don't care. D-. Coach, what the fuck is his name? I had it pulled up so I can remember it because I don't remember names very well. Dan Quinn. I think I shit on him a lot when he first got hired, and I'm still going to shit on him because I don't like him. But I think he's better than I'm giving him credit for. I get it. He really is. So I'm going to give him a C. I'm going to keep optimistic about it. I think he could go either way. Genuinely looking at everything and looking at, even put my bias aside, I think he could go either way. I'm going to give you a chance this next season, but I don't like you. Moving on, you get a C grade, Dan Quinn. Without further ado, this is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.